Hey yo, what is up guys? Your boy is back with yet another wrestling video, and today I am talking about a very important show to me because at the time I was having kind of a tough time in school and stuff. I always refer to that because it's there was some issues going on in my life at that point in time. And this is one of the shows that I didn't actually watch it originally when it came out. I didn't watch it till the matches on it till later on. I can't remember. I don't think I watched them for a month later. I just heard about how good everything was. So yeah, we'll obviously be talking about that match and how well, when we get to it, we'll talk to it because if you're reading the title, you know what show I'm talking about here. Elimination Chamber 2014. Let's get into it. This was at one of the height of my wrestling fandom, when this is the last part of my youth, I guess you would say. I was about 16 when the show came out, and this is kind of that last area where it was wrestling was magical and everything like that. To me, I don't know how to really describe it, but it kind of ends around this time period here. So yeah, as I talk about the shows, we'll get more into that. Obviously, star ratings down below. I'll put my Instagram down below if you guys want to follow me there. And yeah, so let's talk about the show. All right, so the first match I'll talk about here is Jack Swagger versus Big E. Jack Swagger was doing his. It's funny because they're talking about all the problems and stuff at the border back in 2014, and now when you see all the issues they're having there now, it's kind of funny because it's I think Jack Swagger would probably be a massive babyface if they actually brought him out now. But yeah, Big E, he was Intercontinental Champion at this time, and yeah, they had a really solid match here, a solid power match. Who was it? Was it Big E who German suplexed? He did some move out on the outside of the floor. He just completely German suplex Swagger into the barricade steps. It was a pretty gnarly looking moment on the outside. And then again, Big E, he did a dive to the outside, and I think Swagger caught him and suplexed him on the outside. Yeah, so there was just a lot of power moves, suplexes. These are big, strong dudes. I was actually a big Jack Swagger fan. I know not a lot of people are. They found him kind of boring, but as a mid-carder, I thought he was pretty solid. He's just good to throw out there. Has really good matches like this. Obviously, has a huge amateur background. So yeah, I love Zeb Coulter. I'm a big Zeb Coulter fan. I think the guy's just cool. Dutch Mantel. He just comes off such the nicest guy in the world. His wicked ass mustache. Yeah, so I love the We the People thing. I liked Big E at the time. Big E, he kind of, at the end of the match here, it's Swagger, he got him in the ankle lock a few times, and it just felt they kind of just Big E didn't really, show that hurt him at all, and they just kind of hit the big ending on Swagger. So yeah, this is kind of, was he US champion or was he? Yeah, he was IC champion, I believe. So yeah, Big E, he was quite established on the main roster before he even joined the New Day. So yeah, this is pre-New Day Big E. Kind of weird to talk about that, with matches with Kofi and Big E Langston when it was they just before they even were a part of the New Day, because they're so associated. They've been together for 10 years now. So obviously Big E's hurt now, but yeah, solid match here. Good way to open the show. Next up, we're talking about the greatest tag team ever versus the New Age Outlaws. Okay, they're probably not the greatest tag team, but definitely of the past 15, 20 years, the Usos are probably going to be remembered as the best tag team in probably pro wrestling, because just when you think about everything they've done, yeah, they did a lot. So the New Age Outlaws, they had a really solid performance despite their age here. You could tell that their age had caught up with them, but you know what? They still have a lot of things going for them. They had their charisma, which hasn't left. They had their moves, which they would hit, and yeah, they performed quite well here. And the Usos, there's this crazy spot where Jay got just completely thrown into the corner, and it's just he hit his knee or whatever. It was a monster spot. Also, I want to say about the Usos, it's crazy watching them from 10 years ago to where they've gotten to now, to even when they had that original theme song with that what is it? They do that chant in the Australian Polynesian areas, where their war chant or whatever, and they would do that before. Yeah, I thought that was a cool entrance and stuff like that. Even the paint and everything, you could tell they've just totally evolved. But here they had just another amazing match. And Jimmy, he had an awesome super kick, which a lot of people bought into. And oh, that's a near fall, but it's funny. Yeah, it's the super kick's just been so bastardized, and I loved it. I mean, I actually really liked it. They hit a splash, and then I think Road Dogg pulled Jay off the outside, and then Billy Gunn, he got the roll up. So yeah, another just really solid tag match here. If you're a fan of the New Age Outlaws or the Usos, definitely check this match out. It's definitely worth watching just for like, it's not very long. It's just a solid match here. And you can just see where like how far, it's kind of funny because it's like they met at the end of the New Age Outlaws, who were just these massive stars during the Attitude Era. And then the Usos, who would just go on to probably surpass pretty much every other tag team in WWE history in terms of probably popularity and like everything they've done. Like first tag team to main event of WrestleMania. Got to give them a lot of credit for that one. So moving on, Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. This was kind of just a match. It was weird because like Titus had turned on Darren Young leading up to this. So yeah, they had a pretty decent match, I guess. I don't know. It was a match on the undercard. Nothing special, but you know what? It was there. So Titus won. That's all I really have to say. I don't have a lot to say about this match. Okay, so here's what we've been wanting to talk about, yo. This is the match here that like saved me. Like I remember like when I watched this, it's like, oh man, you know how cool it'd be to be like a part of the Shield and stuff. Here they are. Like I was just like, there was all this buzz around these two teams, and this was like such a dream match. Like I remember people like commenting like on YouTube videos and like talking about it all the time. Like, oh, the Shield versus the Wyatt family, the Shield versus the Wyatt family at WrestleMania, and how they do like WrestleMania 30 prediction, Wyatt family versus the Shield, and how they like have all these videos about it. And before like the promo, there was this one promo I would watch on YouTube, and it's not like, it's like a video edit one, and it's just like epic. I love watching it. I loved watching it a lot. And just like the whole like lead up to this match, and the Shield, who are just on this tear, and they're all expected to go on to be these massive stars. Bray Wyatt's expected to go be on this massive star. And this is just like, it's like watching, like, this was like watching, like, before they even got in the ring, there's "This is awesome" chants. The entrances were great. It was like, it had this huge sports feel. And that's the entire point of this like whole match. It had like these two teams who were like just not going to give an inch. It was like watching a great hockey game or baseball game where it's just like, they were just going back and forth. They were not going to give a freaking inch, or like a soccer game. And it was just back and forth. And they were just beating, like they were going like balls to the wall from the beginning. Like this was a scrap from the beginning. They were going heavy at each other, like with Shield doing like fast tags in and out of the ring. Like there was a point where like all three of them were in the ring, like Roman, Seth, and Dean were all in the ring at one point, and then like they were like beating down on, like, I want to say it was like Luke Harper, and then like Bray Wyatt's over on the other side, like calling shots like tag me in, and he's like yelling for moves and stuff on the outside. And like Bray was just amazing here. This was peak like Wyatt family here. Like this is like, they were just mad over here. Like there was like back and forth chants in the crowd. Let's go Wyatts, let's go Shield. And it's like, it was like the great, like where like the Shield, they had like the less size, but they were quicker and faster because they had Ambrose and Rollins, versus like the two towering giants. And like even Bray's a big dude. So it was like, it just had this great dynamic of like, yeah, like I said, like the sports thing. And then like the match just kicked into chaos mode. So it's like, they're just kind of like, they're going hard back and forth at each other, like hitting each other with moves. I love that move that Eric Rowe did, where like the Sergeant Slaughter, where they crushed the guy's head between his fists. Yeah, and like this was like epic. And then so finally, when the match just completely kicks into chaos mode, so like it was just like a tag match. And the next thing, Ambrose, because Wyatt had been chirping him the entire time leading up to this, and then he just comes like racing and he tackles Bray. He starts beating his ass, and it's like, yeah, and like that's when the crowd's just losing it. Next thing, Ambrose and Rollins, they're diving out of the ring into the Shield, and like not into the Wyatt family. Luke Harper's diving out of the ring. And like this is like when like dives are actually like cool and shit, because like it's just getting you more and more amped up. And then Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, they go brawling off into the crowd, and Eric Rowan and Reigns are throwing down in the ring. And then so they finally get like Seth Rollins up for like, so Eric Rowan, I love this. He like he throws Roman, slams it. Roman ends up on the other side of the ring. Seth's on the other side. Ambrose is taken out way off into the stands. And then so they hit a double choke slam on Rollins. So Rollins is out. Reigns is the last one standing, and he starts like, they just start beating down Reigns. Reigns fires up and he starts trying to make a comeback. So but then obviously he does the whole, like, he's going for the spear. Luke Harper comes rushing in. He hits Luke Harper. Bray catches him. Sister Abigail. So this was heat. Everyone, this is the greatest 6-man tag match in all of WWE. I can't think of a better 6-man tag. This was just awesome. The crowd was awesome. The match just was like complete heat for the entire thing. Just straight up flames, bro. Like, this match was awesome. I love this match. I give it 5 stars. I know I'd say that about a lot of matches, but like on like some of these older shows, some of these matches, they just are that freaking good. And it's like, what's wrong with this match? I love this match. I love the Eddie Guerrero Brock Lesnar match, and I love this match here. This match was freaking sick. Loved it to death. So, after talking about that match, we're moving on to Batista versus Alberto Del Rio. So, Blue Tista returned, and I totally forgot how like chaotic this time period was. Like, because as you just heard me talk about how much like everyone just loved and raved about that Wyatt Family Shield match, and just the build up to it and just how great it was, we had Batista come back. And now Batista came back at the Royal Rumble, and yeah, it didn't go over too well because everyone loved Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was like was over. Like the boy was over like Rove, baby. And Batista comes back. They kind of just reject him, and Batista's like flipping people off at the end of the Royal Rumble. Like, so like, yeah, great hero there, guys. So he's like flipping everybody off. And so yeah, he comes in, he has a match here with Alberto Del Rio. This was weird. This was weird to watch again. Like, it's like everyone's cheering for Alberto Del Rio because the fans were just so passionate at that time. And I actually kind of like watching it back now. It makes like, it's really fun to watch because it's just like, it's fun to see how just impassioned people were at the time and how like people were just that invested. And yeah, it's just really awesome to see that. And yeah, so moving on to like this was just kind of like a match. Like, the crowd was weird. People were cheering Del Rio. Batista kind of just he didn't look great in the match. You could tell he'd missed 4 years. This guy's expected to main event WrestleMania. Yeah, they're calling him Blue Tista, and it's funny because it's like Batista just doesn't get it. Like, it's funny how it's like wrestlers just don't understand the fans sometimes. And it's just like, what all they're talking about is I'm wearing blue, and they call me Blue Tista. It's like, that's just what people do. He just doesn't get it. He's just like, and yeah, so Batista, Blue Tista, Batista. Yeah, the match was just whatever. It's funny to watch now, but nothing like too special. Del Rio, yeah, I think he was on his way out of the company at this point. So yeah, either way, so it's weird to see where he was at WrestleMania 29 and the Elimination Chamber the year before, but all the way up to here, not nada, baby, not nada. All right, so finally talking about an Elimination Chamber match here. So this is what main evented the show. Sheamus, Cesaro, Randy Orton, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and Christian main event in the Elimination Chamber, and this was a phenomenal Elimination Chamber match. I loved watching this. So Sheamus and Cesaro, they start off the match, and they're just doing their back and forth, really using the chamber. Man, this is back when the chamber had that freaking great flooring, and it just looks so nasty. Just get hit up on that. So yeah, they're going back and forth, like really solid stuff. It's Cesaro and Sheamus. They go on to be a great tag team in the bar, and yeah, so this was a great little precursor to everything that would come. And yeah, so finally Daniel Bryan gets in the match, and I had forgot just how popular he was until like, it's like, I remember how like everyone loved Daniel Bryan, but like just watching the crowd back for like some of these matches, it's like mind-blowing. Like, they just go ape shit for him, and he comes out and he jumps off, hits a double drop kick on both guys, and yeah, he's a house of fire in there. So next up, Christian enters, and Christian, he had a great frog splash on Sheamus in this match. I just want to say that like right now. Christian comes in and he was like beating up on Daniel Bryan because they had like I think they had a match, or was that Christian and Sheamus that had a match like the week before? Either way, it was so Christian kind of goes after Daniel Bryan, attacking his shoulder, beating up on him, sends him through like the plexiglass, and yeah, and then next up, Cena gets in. Yeah, Cena comes in because Randy Orton's last. And yeah, John Cena comes in. He hits like a FU or an AA onto like, he hits one onto like Sheamus, I think it was. He like has Christian up, hits an AA over onto him. And then finally, Randy Orton, he gets in the match, And then he kind of comes out because everyone's laid out at once Randy Orton kind of enters. So he's coming out to pick the bones. He kind of starts stomping on everybody. And then he kind of like, everyone gets up, and like Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, and Cena, they all kind of have him in the corner. He realizes he has nowhere to go. So then he just gets into his pod and he like hides out in there till finally they all start like attacking each other again. And then so finally Sheamus gets pissed off. Bro kicks his way into the chamber. Then I think, yeah, and then like I said, I think Christian hits like a mass frog splash onto Sheamus, eliminates Sheamus there because Sheamus is like going after Christian. He's all pissed off. And then, because yeah, Randy Orton like suplexes Christian frog splashes him. And then Cesaro, he's eliminated next by John Cena. He gets, no, I think Christian, he ends up getting eliminated. I think it was by, who the fuck did he get eliminated by? Was Daniel Bryan? Yeah, I think he got the B+ from Daniel Bryan and gets eliminated. And then Cesaro, I think, taps out to the STFU after, like, he took some abuse right before that. Like, he's got like A8 out onto the floor. They really used the chamber. Like, they beat the shit out of each other using the chamber in this match. There were so many instances of them just throwing each other into the chamber through pods, coming off the pods. This was a really, really good chamber match. So then Randy Orton, I think it was, down to Randy Orton, John Cena, and Daniel Bryan. Lights go out. Wyatt family appear. They take out John Cena. We all know where this is leading. Could only be one way. WrestleMania, baby. And yeah, so then it's down to Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. And maybe Randy Orton. Who the fuck did Randy Orton? Anyways, so it's down to those guys. Kane's coming out. He's trying to pull out, I think it was John Cena there. He's trying to pull out Cena. He starts trying to get the Wyatt family out. And then finally, Daniel Bryan sees Kane. Corporate Kane jumps off, hits him with the knee. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, they had like this wicked back and forth. Daniel Bryan kicked out of an RKO, and I was like, damn, that got me. Like, the crowd was just like, they were just pulling so hard for Daniel Bryan and this man. They were just going crazy for him. And then eventually, Kane, he just gets involved too much. Randy Orton hits an RKO. 1, 2, 3, Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber. He's headed to a WrestleMania main event with Batista that we know of so far. Is Daniel Bryan going to get to WrestleMania? We don't know. But this was a wicked chamber show. I love this show. Obviously, just the impact it had on me leading into WrestleMania. And yeah, this was a great show. Great matches. A chamber match and the Wyatt family and the Shield match. There were some good matches on the undercard. Just like everything was fine. It was just a chaotic time at the WWE. I really liked the show. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Weird to think it was 10 years ago. Wow, time flies. And yeah, great show. Yeah. So I'm planning on doing Elimination Chamber 2013 later in the week here. So I'll probably start watching that now. So thank you guys for watching the video, and peace out, my dogs.